he was in fourth grade, and we had gone to a new school district in a new state. And I had mentioned to the teachers, you know, don't worry, he's going to make some funny noises. But when he was a preschooler, he was actually 2.5, he started doing some movements that were so repetitive, we were going to doctors. We took him to an ophthalmologist because he was squinting his eyes so much. He had fine, his vision was fine. And then a little later, he kept shaking his head like this, and we thought his hair was too long, and we kept cutting his hair, and that it didn't stop. And eventually, they became vocal tics, noises. He developed a cough that just never went away. Soon after, the teacher called and said, "May I have the school psychologist observe your son?" And I said, "Well, we've done this before in his other school," and sure. And that school psychologist called and said, "I think your son has a problem that has nothing to do with discipline. It has to do with biology." And she said, "I think you need to go to this doctor." She said, "I happen to know about this." And I said, "You can tell me what you think it is, because I think you're going to say Tourette syndrome." And she said, "Yes."
No one is absolutely sure what causes Tourette syndrome, but current research suggests that tics associated with Tourette syndrome are partially caused by abnormal activity in the neurotransmitters dopamine and serotonin, the natural chemicals in the brain that carry information from one brain cell to another.
When I was first diagnosed, I was, I believe, 3 years old. 3 years old, about around there. Um, and so I was kind of young. I didn't really know what it was yet. Um, but I really started noticing it when I hit about fifth or sixth grade. That's when my tics started to really flare up, and it was getting noticeable in school. In middle school, I had a couple people teasing me, you know, mainly like the older guys, whatever. And they were just kind of picking on me. So I had grunting and breathing tics. Um, yeah, when I was trying to do homework, I'd like pound the table with my fist or my hands. Stress is really weird. It's like if you have an itch or a sneeze, uh, you really can't hold it back. So that's kind of what it feels like. If you don't scratch the itch, you know, it's going to drive you crazy. Right. So I was teased a little bit. It wasn't as bad as it would have been in public school, because I went to a private school. But you know, I could definitely tell that people were looking at me, and they didn't really understand. I didn't really understand until, you know, I had all these opportunities. So I just really wanted to learn more about it, and so I could actually tell other people about it, so that they would know and say, "Hey, you know, she has Tourette's, whatever." Well, right now my tics are waning. They go through waxing and waning periods throughout your life, and they usually calm down after adolescence. Not in everyone, but in most people. Um, so right now, I'd say between a 1 and a 10. I'm about a 3 right now. You can still see I have some visible tics, and on more stressful days, they're a little bit worse. Uh, I used to be up maybe at like an 8. It gives me something to be proud of. You know, I'm not really embarrassed about it anymore. It's part of me. It's who I am now. Me personally, I have OCD, which is, you know, obsessive compulsive disorder. So one of my things was I used to have to check the back door every night to make sure it was locked. You know, I also have slight anxiety, um, and other than that, that's about it.
the coprolalia, which is, in less than 15% of the people with Tourette syndrome have the symptom of the swearing or the involuntary, bad word, bad language, inappropriate. And I've heard that. I've heard that at national conference. Is the only place I've heard it, national conference of the Tourette Syndrome Association, where people from all over the world come. And even then, I don't hear it that much. Once you start reading, you'll see your child. If your child is struggling with things that are typical of Tourette's, you'll know it. Look at your family on both sides and see if anyone's struggled. Sometimes the tics are hard to see in an adult because they learn to mask them. They learn to incorporate them into their typical body movements, and then you don't really realize what they're doing.